Hi, my name is Mr. Bishop. I am from St. George's College, and the experience for myself and the students was a very enlightening one. Right, there were a number of interactive games which we enjoyed, and a number of students also won prizes as well. So it was a very good experience.
Good day, and especially to our Dean of the Faculty of Science and Technology, Dr. Brian Coburn, Deputy Dean of Outreach, Faculty of Science and, Faculty of Science and Technology, Dr. Terry Mohammed. Head of the Department of Mathematics, Dr. Vijay Tripathi. The Curriculum Coordinator for the Ministry of Education, Mrs. Nicole Harris Knudsen. To the Professor of Marine Biology and Head of Department of Life Sciences, Professor Judith Gobin. Head of Department of Chemistry, Dr. Richard Fearman. Head of Department of Physics, Dr. Paul Sharma. To Consultant Actuary and Managing Director of KR Services, Dr. Kyle Wooden. We'd also like to say a special thanks to our university staff in attendance, to the secondary school principals, to the teachers, parents, and students, and to members of the media. I welcome you all to the 2023 UWI Math Fair. I'll be your MC today, and I'm Dr. Kennethan Daga, coordinator of the UWI Math Fair for this year. We are very pleased to have you here. And to start our program, we do ask for a welcome from Dr. Brian Coburn, our Dean of the Faculty of Science and Technology. He has played a major important role in the growth of this program. The Math Fair has, from inception, been guided while he has been Dean of our faculty. And I would like you to give him the warmest round of applause that you can as we welcome him onto the stage. Please welcome our Dean of Faculty, Science and Technology, Dr. Brian Coburn.
Consulting Actuary and Managing Director of KR Services Limited, Mr. Kyle Rudden. Curriculum Coordinator, Ministry of Education, Mrs. Nicole Harris Knudsen. Head of Department of Mathematics, Dr. Vijay Tripathi. Deputy Dean of Outreach, Faculty of Science and Technology, Dr. Terry Mohammed. Heads of Department of the Faculty of Science and Technology. Secondary school principals, teachers, parents, students, members of the media, and all university staff at an administrative, technical, and support level. Good morning. Okay, so this is not a scholarly symposium, so we're going to have to do better. Good morning. We can work with that. Welcome to the St. Augustine campus of the University of the West Indies. Teachers and principals, this event couldn't happen without your engagement and collaboration with the Ministry of Education. We are pleased to have you with us. We are fortunate to have with us Mr. Kyle Rudden. Thank you to the hardworking staff of the Department of Mathematics and Statistics and to the HOD, Dr. Tripathi. This event has many moving parts and it requires a strong team effort. Students, our future students, you hold a special place in our minds and hearts. We are committed to maintaining high standards so that your tertiary level educational goals remain both lofty and within reach. We have prepared a number of events and exercises that we hope you find both entertaining and educational. We are also showcasing other disciplines you might pursue at the Faculty of Science and Technology. Please have a look around and enjoy the day. Thank you and welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Coburn, the Dean of our Faculty of Science and Technology. We are very proud of the growth of our faculty, and it is a testament to the efforts of our leadership, including Dr. Coburn. Please give him another round of applause. I would like now to introduce a very special gentleman. He is the head of Department of the Mathematics and Statistics. And he has been guiding this math fair for the last 2 years. Under his stewardship, we went first to a virtual platform during the pandemic, and now we are in person, face to face, with the largest attendance ever for a UWI Math Fair. And I think it's testament to the work that he has done. Please welcome Dr. Vijay Tripathi as he gives his address, his greetings.
Good morning, Dr. Brian Coburn, Dean, Faculty, Science and Technology, Mr. Kyle Redden, PR Services Limited, Ms. Nicole Harrison, Nutsel, Ministry of Education, Dr. Akhenaton Daga, all protocols observed. So a special welcome to our school teachers without whom no such event can ever be a success. And of course, a warm welcome to all the school children here. Welcome everybody to the 5th edition of the UWI Math Fair. Just as Trinidad has a layers of history going back 2 centuries, our Math Fair also has a deep history. And just as the first capital of Trinidad was St. Joseph, we had the first Math Fair in the St. Joseph Convent, St. Joseph. It was initially the brainchild of one of the school teachers at the St. Joseph Convent, Miss Linda Devnath, who approached the Department of Maths and Stats to help her with the math fair at her school back in 2010. The math fair in its present form first took place in 2018. We could not hold the math fair in 2020 due to COVID. However, for the last 2 years, we had the math fair online. This year we are back to face event, and we are very glad to meet you with you all in person. I thank especially the teachers for participating in our event so enthusiastically. We have a number of items going on simultaneously. We have been oversubscribed, and by that I mean that we had planned it big, but your response have been overwhelming, and we feel uh, humbled. So I hope you enjoy your time here, and it inspires you to come to UB for further studies. Math is an essential tool to understand the world. Just as language is necessary to communicate with each other, math is necessary for making sense in the world. It will surprise you to know that for a long time in history, math was a part of humanity discipline. It was only in the 17th century that math powered scientific discovery in Europe, and and that is the history we learned. Trinidad is home to a number of cultures from India and Africa, and uh, and where ancient science existed. Some Hindu schools here do Vedic math as an extracurricular activity. From abacus to computer, we have learned a lot. The primary focus of our event today is to expand your boundaries and see how learning can be fun. So I will not take too much time. Hand over to uh, stage to Dr. Daga. Thank you.
So our head of department, Dr. Vijay Tripathi, please give him another round of applause. Thank you, thank you. And we would now like to invite to our stage a representative from the Ministry of Education, Mrs. Nicole Harris Knudsen, currently holds the position of Acting Curriculum Coordinator for Mathematics in the Curriculum Planning and Development Division of the Ministry of Education of the Government of Trinidad and Tobago. She has served in the Ministry of Education for the past 27 years in positions which include teacher, head of department, vice principal, and curriculum officer. She holds a Master of Education degree specializing in curriculum, a postgraduate diploma in education and technology, a diploma in education in the teaching of mathematics, and a Bachelor of Science degree in mathematics from the University of the West Indies, St. Augustine. Mrs. Harris Knudsen is directly responsible for math curriculum development and assessment at the primary and lower secondary levels, as well as monitoring curriculum implementation for the Caribbean Exams Council, CXC, CSEC, additional maths, and mathematical syllabi, and the Cape Applied Maths and Pure Maths syllabi. I think she needs a round of applause just for that. Her other responsibilities include providing recommendations for the assessment of teachers' qualifications and the selection of teachers for the teaching service, the in-service teaching training and resource materials development for mathematics. She also provides technical curriculum support to internal and external stakeholders for the successful implementation of policies of the Ministry of Education. Let's hear it once again from Mrs. Nicole Harrison Knudsen.
Good morning. All protocols observed. Greetings from the Ministry of Education, the Government of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. On behalf of the Chief Education Officer, Dr. Peter Smith, I take the privilege to address you this morning. My name is Nicole Harris Knudsen. Thank you to the organizing committee of the UWI Math Fair 2023, as well as the Department of Mathematics and Statistics in the Faculty of Science and Technology of the University of the West Indies, St. Augustine, for your invitation to the Ministry of Education to attend and address all of your auspicious participants, supporters, well-wishers, and staff. The organizing committee of the UWI Math Fair 2023 is congratulated for sustaining this exemplary event for the past 5 years, which engages stakeholders and showcases the emerging talents of our secondary schools in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago in the field of mathematics. The vision of the Ministry of Education is a higher achieving, people-centered, proactive organization capable of harnessing and releasing the innate dynamism, innovativeness, and intellect of the 21st century learner, intent on building human resource capacity in pursuit of national sustainable development. The mission of the Ministry of Education is to educate learners to achieve their full potential and become productive citizens who are imbued with the characteristics of resilience, goodwill, honesty, respect, tolerance, integrity, benevolence, civic pride, social justice, and community spirit. The familiar competitions of the UWI Math Fair 2023 serve to support the achievement of the outcomes of the Ministry of Education. Math creativity. Get creative with an art piece, spoken word, oral, musical piece, or meme. This competition speaks to the ministry's vision for innovativeness on its mission of civic pride, social justice, and community spirit. So, you promote your schools using your natural talents. Math Olympics, the ultimate test for mathletes. This competition speaks to the ministry's vision of releasing the innate dynamism of the 21st century learner on its mission of resilience, honesty, and goodwill. May the best student win. Math modeling. Show off your skills with a poster or physical model. This competition speaks to the ministry's vision for its human resource capacity in pursuit of national sustainable development on its mission of civic pride, social justice, and community spirit. The fun activities, the interactive games related to math, these activities speak to the ministry's vision of the intellect of the 21st century learner on its mission of respect, tolerance, integrity, and benevolence. The Ministry of Education welcomes the math essay, which encourages students to develop their literacy skills, the math quiz, which seeks to promote numeracy skills, and the math model, which facilitates the integration of concepts from all subjects across the curriculum, promoting curriculum implementation for every student's holistic development. The exposure to careers in the field of mathematics and statistics will certainly redound to the benefit of students as they begin to navigate the career pathways. Thank you to the organizing committee of the UWI Math Fair 2023 for your alignment with the ministry's vision and mission, even as you chart your own path to greater success. Again, the sustainability of the initiative is lauded. Now, I take this opportunity to introduce you to the Digital Transformation Program of the Ministry of Education of the Government of Trinidad and Tobago. Students, we do it all for you. It is about our future, and you are our future. Digital transformation is a revolution of systems and operations to fully control the changes and opportunities of digital technologies and experiences. Digital transformation allows the Ministry of Education to make calculated decisions that impact the education sector with present and future technological advances in mind. And you would have seen how we just had to jump in feet first when COVID, when we had to deal with when the world had to deal with the COVID impact. The Digital Transformation Program of the Ministry of Education focuses on the achievement of 5 objectives. To support the embedding of digital technologies in teaching, learning, and assessment. Students, you are responsible for the learning. To upgrade digital technology infrastructure in all schools. To promote administrative growth and increased value from service delivery improvements. You are our clients, and we are serving you. To support vulnerable and marginalized populations within communities. To apply dedicated funding and resources to facilitate upskilling of all personnel. The Digital Transformation Program of the Ministry of Education, as proposed, will at least impact operational areas in education, which include the achievement of the outcomes envisioned. School operations, school infrastructure, ICT infrastructure, curriculum delivery, examinations, and you need to consider e-testing, lifelong learning. The Digital Transformation Program flows and builds on the Ministry of Education's ICT in Education policy of 2018, which provides the main background for the replacement of outdated practices that are no longer relevant or efficient, and the implementation of systems that cater to the requirements of the 21st century learners, who are you, and ICT-enabled environments and services, which you will be exposed to, which you are already exposed to. Therefore, some of the projects started in 2019 are ongoing, while others are more recent additions and at various levels of implementation. The group of projects stands to be expanded as the MOE continues to be responsive to changing local and global conditions. Digital projects of the Ministry of Education comprising the Digital Transformation Plan include the e-book platform. The end product is the provision of an e-book content platform that shall guarantee access to e-textbooks in all subject areas taught at secondary schools and shall be aligned to the ministry's syllabi and compatible with its school learning management system, the SLMS, which most, if not all of you, would have become familiar with during the COVID period, while you were working from home, working remotely, working online. The school learning management system is an online portal that allows for the remote live streaming of classes by teachers, as well as student access to educational material. Teachers and educators continue to add content to the school learning management system, thereby providing a full online repository of accessible content for you. Device provision and for staff, teachers, and students. The computer laboratories of schools which require devices have been catered for in the Ministry of Education's budgetary request for the fiscal year 2022 to 2023, which is our current academic year. E-testing. E-testing refers to the administering of examinations utilizing digital means. An e-test replicates or replaces paper-based tests with an application accessed on a computer screen and involves the transfer from paper-based tests to computers with appropriately designed user interface. If you have not yet engaged in e-testing, students, it will be upon you soon enough. For that, we wish to develop student digital literacy. The digital literacy program will develop both the competence to use, access, and communicate information using digital tools and forms, as well as the ability to comply with the necessary standards of behaviors expected in online environments. The program would include modules on netiquette, cyber safety, and cyber security. And open educational resources are teaching, learning, or research materials that allow for educators to copy, adapt, and share the resources legally and freely in order to support high quality and locally relevant teaching and learning. So these resources are online and they are there for you, for your learning. The ministry will use the open educational resources as digitized materials offered freely and openly for educators, students, and self-learners to use and reuse for your learning and your research. And finally, scholarship bursary management platform. The MOE application will allow for a more efficient selection and monitoring process of scholarship awards and national bursaries for nationals. The Scholarships and Advanced Training Division is responsible for the administration of scholarships and long-term technical assistance offered through the government of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. The offer of scholarships by the Organization of American States is now open. So, if you go to the Ministry of Education's website, you will see that there's a whole host of resources there for you. Students, the Ministry of Education is looking out for you. The fact that the approval was given by the Chief Education Officer for you to be released from school to participate in today's event, it says that we are very much interested in you and your development of mathematics. And we thank the teachers who are willing to supervise you and bring you to today's fair. Students, teachers, and all stakeholders in education, students, teachers, and all stakeholders in education, we all have a role to play. Let us play that role well. Together, we aspire. Together, we achieve. Thank you all for listening.
Let's hear it once again for our acting curriculum coordinator, Ms. Nicole Harris Keeson. The Ministry of Education has been very important for the success of this event, and I'll be speaking more about that in a short while. But allow me to introduce our feature address, Mr. Kyle Wooden. One saying that typifies Mr. Wooden is assume there is an answer to every problem and go for it. You can see his heart is in mathematics. Mr. Kyle Wooden is an actuary and accountant with over 30 years of consulting experience in the Caribbean and beyond. Actuaries use mathematics to solve complex financial problems, including those involving human life and insurance. His accomplishments include being the 1984 President's Gold Medal winner. He did maths, further maths, and physics, and chemistry. Qualifying as a chartered accountant in just 3 years and as a fellow of the UK Institute of Actuaries in 2.5 years. The youngest ever partner of an international actuarial consultancy at age 27. Founding KR Consulting in 1987, a Caribbean-owned actuarial company. Actuary to some of the largest companies and pension plans in the entire region. And he's a former director of the Trinidad and Tobago Central Bank and TNT Stock Exchange, president of the Caribbean Actuarial Association, president of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Trinidad and Tobago, and chair of the Salaries Review Commission. the current vice chairman of a successful microfinance company and the TNT Revenue Authority. He's a member of several exam and curriculum committees for the US Society of Actuaries, and his recent qualifications include a certificate in data science from the UK Institute and Faculty of Actuaries and Southampton Data Science Academy. And he has, as his last accomplishment, married to a maths teacher with 4 children, 4 dogs, and a cat, Mr. Kyle Wooden. Please welcome him warmly.
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. All protocols definitely being observed. It's really a pleasure to be here. I understand there are lots more people outside who will never hear this wonderful speech, and I am truly damaged by that. Oh, we have a live stream. Wow. Okay. This is what you call talking while he gets the presentation up, in case you haven't realized that. This is presentation tips and tricks. You can catch that on the internet. Thanks. I do actually want to commend the ministry for its emphasis on mathematics, because mathematics is what we call a gateway subject. It provides a gateway to basically everything else. I am going to try and do something here. Yes. This is my speech. Let me read it for you. I'm so thrilled to be speaking with you today about the power of mathematics. Now, I know some of you may be thinking, why do I need to learn math? I'm never going to use it in real life. That is not true. Nothing could be further from the truth. Maths is not a subject you study in school. It is a tool that you use in different aspects of life. Finance, technology, engineering, medicine, everything in between. It is essential to solving real-world problems. In finance, you use maths every time you balance your checkbook or add interest or check the interest on your savings account. In engineering, use mathematics to make sure your buildings don't fall down. In medicine, doctors use mathematical models to determine which medical treatments work, which don't, how diseases spread. We were involved in the mathematical modeling of COVID, actually. In the world of information technology, maths is used to create all sorts of things like PowerPoint, navigation systems in cars, video games, smart lights, everything that you basically take for granted in modern society is driven by math. So as you study mathematics, keep in mind you are not just learning a subject. You are preparing yourselves for a bright future. By understanding the mathematical concepts and learning them, you are setting yourselves up for success in any career you choose. Maths is not just a subject. It's a valuable tool that will help you in your daily life. So embrace it. Challenge yourselves and never give up. With hard work and determination, the sky is the limit. Can I have a round of applause, please? Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Now for some mathematics. I didn't write that speech. That was ChatGPT in 20 seconds. My colleague, who's studying data science and filming me at the back there, typed that in. Please write me a motivational speech for secondary school students. 20 seconds later, that speech came up. Right now, it's actually generating another speech. Because the thing about ChatGPT, it'll generate different speeches. I believe I saw a note to say that Stanford University is estimating that approximately 70 to 80% of coursework by its students is currently being written by ChatGPT. And people are trying to generate counter ChatGPT detectors, which of course then the ChatGPT version 2 will be using as part of its learning inputs to improve. So, okay, hands up. Who's ever heard of ChatGPT? Cool. ChatGPT is a form of artificial intelligence. And it works, actually, deep down when you dig, on some fairly simple mathematics. Most things in life begin with simple mathematics, which then they add on lots of stuff to, and it becomes fairly complicated. I'm sure that some of you may be thinking, how do I get my homework done? CXC SBAs suddenly become it took me 20 seconds or less for that speech. It took me longer to write it, to read it out. It took much longer for me to get the nice flowing thing done on PowerPoint. And so, as our distinguished guest from the ministry knows very well, the speed of digital transformation is going to transform our existing educational systems even more. This is actually as disruptional or as disruptive as the Industrial Revolution was to agriculture, because people that wrote speeches are probably going to have less demand for their jobs. And so, let me just, that's a slide showing, on the left-hand side, you probably can't see too much of the details, that's okay. The left-hand side is ChatGPT, showing the neural networks and how some of the bits and pieces, how they taught it. I mean, they taught it by basically giving it everything on the internet up to 2021. Let it analyze it, look for connections. They trained it, because in the past, when people have done AI chatbots, you get them, what you do is you get people, when it starts interacting with people mislead it. So the chatbots start to make racist comments or foolish comments. So these people around, they trained it what not to say. So far, ChatGPT has been passing medical exams, MBA exams. It's only been getting 40% on actuarial exams. So, can I say? It's actually, ChatGPT is not very good at maths. But the one on the right, which is called Wolfram Alpha, is very good at maths. And if you ever have any difficult advanced homework, slap it into Wolfram Alpha. And I'm talking about squiggly Greek letters, fancy integrals. It knows much more maths than you and me. That name again, Wolfram Alpha. They have this thing called Google. Chatbot and Wolfram Alpha basically take everything on Google and make it much more intelligible. I mentioned that mathematics is a gateway subject. I threw up some of the standard careers here that involve mathematics, but almost anything involves mathematics. If you want to do sociology, unfortunately, if you hate maths, you're going to end up doing statistics and a bunch of stuff. And basically, if you can't do maths, a lot of careers become blocked to you. All of the STEM subjects, the science subjects, the medicine, pharmacy, all that kind of stuff obviously requires maths. The point I'm making here is even things that seem non-mathematical, like economics. If you go further into economics, it becomes almost purely mathematical. You can't, I mean, you can probably get away with basic-ish maths up to a bachelor's in economics. If you want to go beyond that, it's really complicated maths. If you want to be a pilot, you know you have to figure out which way the plane is going. And yes, you have a bunch of computers, but you actually have to pass exams in navigation. And for those of you who may not know, the world is round. And if you just draw a line on the globe, you don't actually fly that. You have to fly the great circle. Geometry, aka mathematics. Let's see. Forensics, urban planning. Yeah, there ain't much you can do these days without mathematics. And unfortunately or fortunately, and our educational structures, with all due respect to our ministry, I know we're working on it, don't necessarily meet our social needs. I'll give you an example. If you want to get a job in just about anything, and I had original, you want to be a cashier in master, you need what's called a full certificate. Maths, English is inside of there. I remember looking at my daughter learning the cosine rule. And I'm trying to remember how to do the cosine rule much years later. I mean, the only thing I ever used it for was for trigonometry, for calculus stuff to pass exams. And yet, after decades in a mathematical field, I haven't touched trigonometry. It's very good if you're going to do engineering. But my daughter has to learn that to get a CXC maths pass. even though all she wants to do is look after children. So I would respectfully suggest that many of the topics that are currently in some of our basic math syllabus are not necessarily relevant. What we see in the CXC math syllabus is actually designed for people that want to go on to university and do math subjects or STEM subjects. So that's a little bit uncomfortable because a good percentage of our population don't need that. That's my opinion and not necessarily the opinion of any body with which I am officially associated. I would, however, say that my job is apparently to tell you that maths is fun. And let me begin by saying, please do not judge maths by the way you have been taught for SEA or CXC. That is not fun at all. Thankfully, you have UWI and the Math Fair and the internet to teach you that maths can actually be fun. I'll give you a story. When I was in high school, secondary school, I had a very good maths teacher, very good maths teacher. At least he was good for me. See, I was bright. I like maths. I don't care how bad you teach maths, I will always love maths. One of my colleagues, a schoolmate, the maths teacher used to make fun of him. Let's suppose his name was Franklin. So he's calling out marks. And he reached Franklin, silence, because Franklin got 0. Right? And, you know, the maths teacher would make fun of him. Now, Franklin, so when I say he was a good teacher, he wasn't actually a good teacher. Because he wasn't very nice to Franklin, shall we say. So Franklin left school after Form 5 and went away. And so I went to Form 6, I'm there doing physics, and Franklin drops in because, you know, Canadian schools have different sequences to ours. So school is still going on, he's on vacation. And I'll never forget this, it was actually partial integration, or integration by parts up on the blackboard. And integration by parts is a non-trivially complex part of Form 6 calculus. And Mr. Franklin, who used to get 0 in maths, says, I know that. And he proceeds to write down the formula. I say, what is that? And he met a teacher who was able to teach him. Now, I'm not saying that my math teacher was particularly bad, because when you have differently abled children in a class, and your class is overpacked because you lack resources, it becomes difficult. The point I'm making is even if you don't understand something, and even if your teacher can't explain it very well to you because maybe the way he or she teaches doesn't resonate with the way you learn, check the internet. Check Khan Academy. I guarantee you, somewhere in that space, there is something that will teach you the maths you need to know in a way that you can understand and you can appreciate. All right? And that lines up very clearly with what the ministry says about digital transformation. Because too many of our students don't get what they need to move into this fun world of mathematics. And whether it's fun or not, you need to know it to get many decent jobs, right? And my last words to you are, find something out there in that math sphere which you enjoy, and learn that maths can be fun. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's hear it once again for Mr. Rodden. I think that was the most original feature address ever in UWI Maths history. And we are very proud to have been here. I know some of you all are anxious to get out there and see the booths and activities. Don't worry, we'll be inviting you after just 2 more items. And one is the presentation to a very special lady. The UWI Math Fair arose from one of our own graduates coming to the department and approaching some of our staff, say, hear what, I have started this program in my school. I think it's a wonderful idea for you all to come in and do something like this. And she has been an inspiration to my work this year. After I spoke with her, I understood what the Math Fair was about. She gave me a clarity, a drive, and a purpose. And I want you to please welcome Mrs. Linda Dionat. from St. Joseph Convent, St. Joseph. And we are going to be presenting her with an award. Ms. Dionat, could you please go center stage? As we call on our Dean, Dr. Brian Coburn, to present her with a plaque of a token of appreciation from our department to you, Mrs. Dionat, for what you have done for us, for your initiative, support, knowledge, talent, and wisdom. Please give her another round of applause for her contribution to the UWI Math Fair. Yes.
Thank you, Chair. You know, Ms. Devanath, Lionel Richie wrote the ballad Lady, and he gave it to Kenny Rogers to sing. And he described that act as giving a child to someone else. And he was so impressed with the way Kenny Rogers looked after that child. The Math Fair, your child, that you put in our hands, words fail me. Just to say that we're really taken by the fact that you entrusted us with this responsibility, and we hope that you're satisfied that we are taking good care of your baby. Yeah? So this is really a small token of our appreciation for your brilliance and your trust in us. Congratulations.
Thank Dr. Brian Coburn. Thank you, Mrs. Dionat. And as I say thank you, I just want to say a quick thank you. I know I don't want to hold this too much longer, but we just want to say a special thank you to some special, important contributors to the Math Fair this year. Of course, to our Dean, Dr. Brian Coburn, to the Ministry of Education for giving us the permission, and not only that, for sensitizing the entire student population about the Math Fair, to our sponsors, RBC Caribbean Banking, National Energy Corporation of Trinidad and Tobago Limited, National Gas Company of Trinidad and Tobago Limited. And we actually to attend their booth on their green initiative in the auditorium. New India Assurance Company Limited. We'd also like to thank our product sponsors, KFC Prestige Holdings Limited and Holiday Snacks Limited, and to our booth sponsors, the Departments of Life Sciences, Physics, and Chemistry. We'd like to give a special thanks to you, secondary school principals, teachers, parents, and students. Without you, this event would mean nothing. On that note, we'd like to thank our internal leadership of our department, Dr. Tripathi, our head, and Ms. for his perseverance, vision, and meticulous stewardship, and great personal commitment, and Ms. Dolores Adams for her tireless work, technical expertise, and advice. And we thank all of our department staff as well. To our university service providers, marketing and communications, especially Ms. Josanne Green. The visual identity that you see all around us is due to them. And to the managers of the venue, LLC, to Ms. Bernice Thomas, Ms. Tanisha Lewis. And we would also like to thank, on that note, our technical staff, Mr. Kurt Stewart, Campus IT Services, and Dr. Karen Rahman and the Timetabling Committee. To the FST Media and Faculty staff, Mr. Darren Granger, Mr. Sania James, to the Deputy Dean of Outreach, Dr. Terry Mohammed, to the campus OSH unit for helping us with the safety, for campus security services, especially Sergeant Wendell Braffett and Sergeant Obapu, to the facility management department of our faculty, Dr. Adrian Lennon, and especially to, as well, the assistance of Ms. Darren McKenzie over the last 24 hours, and to the health services unit. And we thank all the presenters, again, Ms. Nicole Harris-Creason, Ms. Professor Judith Gobin, the head department of physics, Mr. Kyle Wooden, Dr. Andrew Hunt, you will see later on the live stream, Dr. Dale Jogi, who is also a member of the Math Fair Teacher Committee, Mr. Asad Mohammed, and Mr. Kavan Rajam. And to our Math Fair Committee co-coordinator, Shashri Singh Dunat, Ms. Kyra Paul, and to all heads of committees, subcommittees, Mr. Kini James, Mr. Jagdish Ramnanan, Mr. Rajesh Lakan, Dr. Alana Sankar, Mr. Vikash Ramchowta, Ms. Devika Bagwandin, and other members of the committee. Including those, we'd like to thank our volunteers from the SUM Society and the Actual Society, and those DCIT Level 3 students for their tour guides. Thank you all for your contribution. And I would like to now invite you to actually go out there and enjoy it. The UWI Math Fair.
So hi, good day. Welcome everyone. My name is Rajesh, and I would be one of the co-hosts for our UWI 2023 Math Cute competition. My co-host is Ms. Kyra Paul,
Hi everyone, good afternoon.
and both of us will carry you through our exciting Math Cute. On stage, we have both teams. We have the theater team. Could we please give them a round of applause? And we have the Infinity team. Lovely, lovely. So just to give a bit of a background, Kyra, could you tell me how these two teams were picked? What were the events that led up to today?
So the two events, the Math Quiz and the Math Feud, are part of the Math Olympics competition. The first round was the Math Quiz, which was an online competition in the form of a quiz that was held throughout the country, and we had about 548 participants. Now, out of the participants, we selected the top 2 in each level of the quiz. So we had 3 levels, junior, intermediate, and senior. And the top 2 students in each of these categories were chosen. Then, so that means there were how many in total chosen? 6, right? We are mathematicians. So there were 6 chosen in total. And out of those 6, we created 2 teams, each of 3. So we have on either team 1 junior, 1 intermediate player, and 1 senior player.
We would start with a brief introduction. I'm going to ask each team member to say their name and say their school, and that will get things started off. So I'm going to start. Kyra, who do you want to start with?
We can start with Team Theta.
Team Theta. Over to you.
Hi, my name is Salim Salek, and I'm from Presentation College, Shikonan.
A little bit louder. You all hear them? A little bit louder. Don't worry.
My name is Salim Salek, and I'm from Presentation College, Shikonan.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. At the end, we'll give a round of applause for everyone.
My name is Shane McPhee, and I'm
A
from
little louder. Not hearing you. Closer to the mic.
My name is Shane McPhee, and I'm from Fatima College, Port of Spain.
Great. Thank you. Oh, I do apologize. Yes, the schools was want to clap, so feel free. Feel free. My apologies.
Hi, I'm Catherine Sigur from Naparima Boys.
One more time.
Hello, I'm Catherine Sigur from Naparima Boys College, San Fernando.
Nice. Okay, well done. And over to the Infinity team.
Good day. My name is Fazil Ali, and I am from Presentation College, Shikonan.
Hi, my name is Divya Ambali, and I'm from Lakshmigil City College.
Hi, my name is Kamora Mahavir Singh, and I'm from Naparima.
Great. All right. Lovely. So this is going to be the competition structure. We're going to ask one question to, let's just say, the junior member of the team. He will be given 20 seconds to answer the question. No prompting from the audience, please, and no prompting or helping from your team members. If any team member on either side helps, that will result in a subtraction of 2 points. If our participant gets the question correctly, they will gain how many points, Sarah?
They will get 10 points.
They will get 10 points. If the buzzer rings at the end of the 20 seconds and he's not able to answer, or his answer was incorrect, the question is passed on to the other team, who will give a response immediately. If that response is correct, that team will be awarded 5 points. Once that's finished, then the member for this team will get their question. And it's the same way. If this person gets it correct, he gets awarded 10 points. If it's incorrect, the other team has an opportunity to steal. So it goes back, however, to the same level. Junior has to steal from junior and so on and so forth. I think that's clear enough? Great. So are you all ready? Take your deep breaths. No nerves. We're going to start with the junior team first. And when I press I'm going to get to that. So when I press the next one, you will see the questions, but we're going to choose sides first. And we have our timing team here. You will hear a ding. Could I get a response how the ding would be? That means time is up. And, well, that means time is. Oh, sorry. What does that mean? That means it's correct. Right? So what does the X mean? Could I hear the X? That's the X. Is it clear? Okay, great. All right. So we want to start with, were taught to see which team starts with? Okay, so in round 1, we're going to start with theta first. And then round 2, we're going to start with infinity first. All right, so theta, are you ready? Are you ready, sir? Good? We're going to start with you. You're the first person. Yeah? Ready? Right? So when I press, you'll see the question. I'll read the question for you, depending if it needs to be read. You'll have 20 seconds. You can hold the mic in your hand and give a response. You ready? Yeah? All right. Round 1. And your question is, based on the topic of angles, your question is, find the angle X in the diagram below. Prompting, please. And your answer is? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so this means that we have to pass the question to another team member, and the answer is?
235.
Louder?
235.
235? I am sorry, that is incorrect. So no one earns any points at the end of the first round, or at the end of the first question. The answer is 125 degrees. I see some of the members of the audience got it out. Right. Lovely. So now we move to infinity team. And Kimura, you will be handling this question. Ms. Kyra.
So Kimura, your question is also on angles, and you can begin now.
And your answer is? I am sorry, that's too long. So the theater team has an opportunity to steal now. So I will give you, your answer is? I am sorry. It's supposed to be instantaneous. So just a note, if the time went, I'm sorry, not able to get any points for that. So just to let you all know, if the question is not being posed to you, and you are the opposing member, please try to work out the question as well. So when it does come to you, you'll be able to get the answer and monopolize on the marks. All right, so let's continue. The answer was 210 degrees. 210 degrees. Right? All right. Now it's difficult being on stage. It's a lot of pressure. I know these questions are simple and you all might be thinking, but it's difficult. The nerves are real. So, we're continuing with the competition and they have done a lot to be here already. So we thank them so much. So we're moving on now. We are moving on to our intermediate question. So Ms. Kyra Paul would take the question.
So this question is for you, Shane, from the theater team. It is based on consumer arithmetic. Mark bought a bicycle for $400. He sold it for $350. What is his percentage loss? And your answer is?
12 and a half.
12 and a half. That is correct.
Well done.
So well done, Shane. You have scored 10 points for your team.
Lovely. So congratulations to the team. Now we move on to our Infinity team. Are you ready, Divya? Consumer arithmetic, question 2. Your question is, the merchandiser buys 100 pens for $250. He sells each pen for $3.25. What is his profit per pen in dollars or cents?
$0.75.
Could you say it a little bit louder?
75 cents.
And that is correct.
That is correct. Well done, well done. Okay, so it's getting on, we're getting on. So far, let's see from the audience. How many points does Cater team have? And how many points does Infinity team have? And what's the difference? Lovely, well done, y'all. Great, so now we have the last member of each team to go, and this is the advanced category. We will start with Salim. Tyra, over to you.
All right, Salim. So your question is based on differentiation. Find dy over dx of this function.
E 8x on 1 minus 4x to the 4.
Louder.
8x over 1 minus 4x to the 4.
8x over?
1 in brackets 1 minus 4x to the power of 4.
8, sorry, so your answer is?
8 over 1 minus 4x all cubed.
And that is
well
correct.
Done. Congratulations, congratulations. All right, so Infinity, are you all ready for your question? All right, be prepared to steal. He stole from you, be prepared. Your question is, find dy dx of x open brackets 2 minus x minus 5.
Two minus 2x.
And that is correct. Well done, well done. Congratulations. So this brings us to 2 minus 2x is the answer for those in the audience. Can I see all those who got it? Oh, lovely, lovely. Good. End of round 1. So we have the final round. So it's exactly the same thing that we did. Each person on each team will be given 3 questions and 3 questions. And at the end of that, we will either declare a winner once somebody has a distinctive advantage, or we will go into tiebreakers. So it's going to be interesting. Let's go. So round 2, participants, are you all ready? Since we started with Cater team first, we're going to start with Infinity team this time.
But sir, you want to remind them of the score? Just
I
so they
think the
can
audience knows the score. Audience, do you all know the score? Let's see. Cater team has, and Infinity has 25. Is that correct? And the difference is Well done, well done. I think I'll ask you all to add it next time. All right. So that's a difference of 15, which is still accomplishable. We'll see what goes on. It is still very close. Let's go. So over to you. Kara, would you read for this side and I will read for that side?
No problem. So beginning of round 2. The topic is algebra, and this goes to you, Kimura. Compute the value of x when a half x minus 1 is equal to 3 plus 3 over 2x. And your answers? You're not sure. Well, unfortunately, we have to give Kavir a chance to steal.
Kavir, what is the answer?
4, sir.
4? Is that 4? I am sorry as well. It's not 4.
Not 4, but close.
So we're moving on now. Kavir, are you ready for? It's negative 4. Almost, 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 almost. Don't worry, don't worry. It happens, it happens, happens. Calm down already? Need some time? Are you good? Good? All right. So your question is also on algebra. Kavir, your question is, given x is 3, find the value of y when y plus 2x minus 1 over x plus 1 equals 2. And your answer is 4. I am sorry, that is not the answer we're looking for. And your answer is 1. I am sorry as well. That is not the answer we're looking for. Answer is 3. Y equals to 3. Miss Divya, are you ready? So Kyra will read out your question for you.
So your question, Divya, will be on the topic of volume. Calculate the volume of the triangular prism below.
A 120 meters cubed.
Could you repeat that, please?
120 meters cubed.
1, 2. I am sorry. So it goes to theater team. What is your answer? I am sorry as well. Remember, you need to have the mic ready waiting, okay? Correct answer is 60 meters cubed. Got to divide by the half. It's a triangle. All right. Don't worry, don't worry. The nerves are there. It's intense. It's pressure. I know. I know. The diagram looks intimidating. All right. So we come over to you now on the theater team, intermediate level. Are you ready, sir? Your question is, find the volume of the sphere below. Give your answer in terms of pi. We have a sphere of radius 3 cm. Your answer is?
9 pi centimeters cubed.
9 pi centimeters cubed. I am sorry, your answer is?
12 pi centimeters
12 pi. Both answers are incorrect. 36 pi centimeters cubed. 36 pi centimeters cubed. All right, so we move on to the senior category now. Senior category.
All right, but before we start, things feeling a bit tense. So let's give our participants a round of applause. Give them a cheer. Give some encouragement. All right, so now we're on to the senior category of round 2. We have Fazil. This is a question for you. It's based on logarithms. Find the value of x given log to base 2 of 2x minus 2 equal 2.
X is equal to 3.
And his answer is correct.
Well done,
X
well
is
done.
equal to 3.
What happened to the clap? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, and our final question for the theater category in the senior level, it's in the same topic, logarithm. Are you ready, sir? Your question is, reduce the following expression, log of 3 to base 2 multiplied by log of 4 to base 3.
Two.
And his answer is 2. Well done. Congratulations. You've won your team 10 points. And that is the end of round 2. So at this point, we will ask our judging panel for a tally for both teams, and we will declare a winner. So I must say the response to the Math Feud and the Math Fair has been overwhelming. So we really do thank all the schools, all the administrative, everyone who has participated in this event. It's still going on, but from about a month ago, all the competitions, we were flooded with entries, we were flooded with emails, flooded with calls. How do I get into this? It was amazing, and it really does go to show that I believe, well, I'm a math person as well. I love math, and I believe that it's having this event grow over many years. We've grown from few students. Right now, we have about 1,500 students or so. We've actually closed registration last week, and schools were still emailing. I think it's really a pleasure to see that math is blossoming, in my opinion, just being beautiful. And the fact that you all are here, the audience, I see the enthusiasm. You know, it doesn't only happen for Family Feud when you sit at home. You all are working out the questions. You all are supporting both teams. And I think that is really something that it warms my heart. So I just want to say thank you all for participating. Thank you all for, in your own way, advertising for us, for being excited. I mean, that's as much as we could say. We could just say thank you. So I would assume that the results are here. So the tallies are for the theater team. We have a total of 20 points. You all give them a round of applause, please. Well done, well done. And for the Infinity team, we have a total of 35 points, making them our winners. So officially, we give a round of applause to both teams, and then we would have our, thank you all very much. Now both teams are going to get medals because they made it this far. However, we have trophies. We have trophies on stage, and we are going into the prize giving ceremony in about a few minutes. So please bear with us. So I'm just going to walk over to the table and make sure everything is set up. Thank you all so much.
Okay, so we would like to start with our runners-up. First, we have Kashmir Suku.
So we'd like to invite Dr. Jogi to come on stage.
And Kashmir, you can join us at the center.
So we would ask the participants to join at the center. Dr. Jogi, you could come on this side. And Kara would call your name, and
and we have Mr. Kashmir Suku representing Naparima College. A round of applause. Excellent, Kashmir. You may return to your seat. We'd like to get a picture with everyone at the end. Great. So next up, we have our second runner-up in the intermediate category. We have Mr. Shane McPhee from Fatima College.
Take it on in the meanwhile.
Congratulations, Shane. And then finally, for the theatre team, we have Mr. Salim Salek from Presentation College, Shogunas. Excellent. So Dr. Dale Jogi, thank you very much for assisting us.
Will give some prizes, right?
Thank you very much, Dr. Jogi. And Kyra, we have Dr. Ricardo Clark to assist with giving out the final prizes.
Dr. Clark, could you make your way to the stage, please? So Dr. Clark is our Deputy Dean for Outreach and a lecturer in the Department of Physics. So while he makes his way to the stage, we are going to begin with our junior member of the winning team, Team Infinity. And we begin with Miss Kimora Mahabir Singh from Naparima Girls High School. Congratulations, Kimora.
You'll stand up and sign up here, right? So,
Great. Next, we invite Miss Divya Rambali from Lakshmi Girls Hindu College in our intermediate category. Congratulations, Divya. And finally, on the winning team in our senior category, Mr. Fazil Ali from Presentation College, Shogunas. Thank you very much, Dr. Clark. And before we go again, a final round of applause to both of our teams.
well done, well done.
And a loud round of applause to all the 548 participants of our math quiz competition.
Lovely, lovely. And the last round of applause, Kyra, I think we need, in fact, we might need a couple more round of applause. So the first is, I think we had an excellent audience.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, so to yourselves, thank you all so much. You all have been excellent. You all were extremely quiet and you all were getting all the questions. I myself, I didn't work out those questions. I was stuck for a few of them, but I'm really, really grateful that I had the support of the team. So to our team panel here, please give us a round of applause. We have Ms. Devika, we have Salim, and we have Ms. Sunran. And last but not least, I would like to thank ourselves, Kyra, Ms. Paul, yeah? So give us a round of applause as well. And with that, we will close. We all thank you all so much for attending the UWI Math Fair 2023. It was a pleasure.
Hi, students. Welcome to UWI Math Fair 2023. It's a pleasure to be here with you. I am Dr. Andrew Hunt. I am the head of the School of Humanities and Education at the UWI Five Islands campus in Antigua and Barbuda. I'm also a lecturer in mathematics and education. I'm really excited to be here to talk to you about an aspect of math sometimes people usually don't realize. It's the aesthetically appealing, beautiful, exciting mathematics. Hope you do enjoy. Most of the times people ask themselves, what is mathematics? And here I'm just sharing with you, these are several quotations. You could just look at them briefly. But interestingly, do you know where these things came from? They talk about math as being at least 5,000 years old. But there's something even more pertinent with this, is that this is taken from our national curriculum. And there is a national curriculum for mathematics in Trinidad and Tobago for all various levels, from primary all the way up to Cape level. And it's not the mathematics syllabus for CSEC. What it is, it's a document that talks about things that you should really learn while you're doing mathematics in school. And one of them is the aesthetic appeal of mathematics. Mathematics is everywhere. Just take a minute and just think about it. When you look at even a spider web, there are patterns and shapes that you see. Even with numbers, there's that appeal when you look at when you do various exponential things with numbers, patterns jump out at you. Then there's geometry. Geometry is really exciting because just look at the shape, the colors, the artwork. It reveals something. There are patterns that use concepts in mathematics that really make this thing interesting and eye-popping so that you can really see the beauty around you. With that, there is something that someone spoke to you about, I think, last year, Math Fair. It's called the golden ratio. And as you can see, there are many places where we can see the beauty of mathematics. As we mentioned before, various parts of nature. But you know, there's something even further you could really understand. Mathematics can even be in our culture in Trinidad and Tobago. So if you look here, this is something teachers did with some students. They identify and classify the shapes in the costume, the carnival costume, and the teacher asked them, could you identify the lines of symmetry? Well, fits nicely with doing a math lesson during carnival, don't you think? Well, there are other things. You can look at wire bending art form to create, as you see in this particular costume here, you are seeing that the student made a costume that used various shapes and patterns, and by the circular shapes, they were able to create a costume. These are things that are useful where math is applied. And symmetries everywhere in the way you paint the colors and you distribute certain lines and angles, we get beautiful creative stuff. Even in national pride, we see here, you can see the shapes, the lines of symmetry in our national flag and our coat of arms. And then even the steel pan. You can get some wonderful things you can learn about in maths. Here, by using a single stick on a tenor pan, you can play certain songs and see what shapes could be formed. This is something called pan geometry. So folks, math can be beautiful, appealing, and you can see the aesthetics of it. I do hope you think about the architecture and the world around you. And as we close, I'm just going to leave something that really plays with your mind. The work of mathematicians. It involves identifying patterns. And when you see a pattern, you test it out to see if it works for all cases. You develop a non-proof argument without the formal things in math. And then when you learn the correct things like logic and various concepts, you can construct a proof. And remember to put your little box at the end of QED. Don't forget that.
Hi there, my name is Kevin Rajaram, a UWI alumni and data scientist with over 10 years experience. It is my pleasure to share this message with you today about the growth of statistics and data science and the increasing demand for professionals in this field. As we move further into the digital age, data has become an essential component of our lives, and the role of statisticians and data scientists in making sense of this data has become increasingly crucial. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, there are expected to be 11.5 million new jobs by 2026, and that sort of growth is expected to permeate other parts of the world, including the Caribbean and Trinidad and Tobago. To start with, the applications of statistics and data science are vast and varied. They are used in fields such as finance, marketing, healthcare, sports, and even in criminal investigations. In recent years, with the growth of technologies such as machine learning, artificial intelligence, and big data, the demand for professionals in this field has only increased. In particular, fields such as predictive analytics, data visualization, and data management are rapidly growing and offer a wealth of career opportunities for those with the necessary skills. So who or what is a statistician or data scientist? A statistician is a professional who uses statistical methods or models to analyze data, while a data scientist is someone who combines knowledge of statistics, computer science, and domain expertise to extract insights from data. Both professions require a deep understanding of mathematical and computational tools, as well as the ability to communicate results to stakeholders. To become a statistician or data scientist, there are several tools and skills that you need to acquire. On the academic side, you need to have a strong foundation in mathematics, statistics, and computer science. You also need to be proficient in programming languages such as R or Python and be familiar with database management and data visualization tools. In addition to these technical skills, you also need to have a strong critical thinking mindset and a good outlook to problem solving and communication. While working in this field can be incredibly rewarding, it can also present a number of challenges. One of the biggest challenges is the sheer volume of data that needs to be processed and analyzed, and the need to do so quickly and accurately. Another challenge is ensuring the accuracy and reliability of the results, as well as ensuring they are communicated effectively to stakeholders. Lastly, the field itself is becoming quite competitive, with many others seeing the potential in the area. To overcome these challenges, it is important to stay up to date with the latest advancements in the field and to continuously learn and improve your skills. By staying on top of the latest technologies, tools, and methods, you can ensure that you are equipped to handle the challenges of this rapidly evolving field. Following industry leaders and influential thought leaders have also been quite instrumental in navigating this interesting but at times complex area. The growth of statistics and data science present a wealth of opportunities for professionals, and the demand for these skills is only going to increase in the coming years. If you are interested in this field, I encourage you to invest in your education, stay up to date with the latest advancements, and continuously strive to improve your skills. I can say my journey as a data science professional and as a student of mathematics, statistics, and computer science has been challenging but quite rewarding. I am always meeting interesting people in the space, working on innovative projects, and continuously learning new concepts. I hope this talk has inspired you to begin thinking about pursuing these areas as a career, and that the information shared will encourage you to find out even more. I am confident with hard work, determination, and a passion for learning, you too can become a successful statistician or data scientist. Thank you for your time, and I wish you all the best in your career.
Good day. My name is Mr. Asan Mohammed, and I'm a lecturer in actuarial science in the Department of Mathematics and Statistics at the University of the West Indies. I welcome you to this math fair, and today I'll be talking to you about risk measures in actuarial science. First of all, I'd like to briefly explain what is actuarial science. Actuarial science is a field of study that brings together mathematics, statistics, probability, economics, accounting, computer science. It brings together knowledge from all of these fields and applies that knowledge to real-world financial problems. The actuary who uses actuarial science attempts to mathematically quantify the risk of financially adverse events. What are financially adverse events? This slide shows you some examples: an earthquake, a car accident, some personal injury. Such events can be financially catastrophic to the person involved. And so, people have used insurance as a way of mitigating the risk of these financially adverse events. As such, actuaries who try to quantify these risks, they have traditionally found employment in insurance companies. However, graduates of a degree in actuarial science have a wide array of career paths open to them. And we have had graduates who have found employment as a professional actuary. Yes, that's the traditional career path. But also we have had graduates who have found employment in the fields that you see on this slide, as a risk analyst, as an investment analyst, as a financial consultant, as a data scientist, and indeed there are many other options. Now, the traditional path to becoming qualified as a professional actuary, if you want to follow the career path of being a traditional professional actuary, the path to doing that is to write the professional examinations of one of two professional actuarial associations, either the Society of Actuaries in the US or the Institute and Faculty of Actuaries in the UK. students must write the examinations of one of these associations to become a certified professional actuary, but these examinations are conducted independently of UE. Please bear in mind that many graduates of degrees in actuarial science do not pursue these professional examinations, and they still successfully find employment in various industries utilizing their knowledge of risk management and risk analysis. And so I would like today to talk to you about risk measures, just to give you a glimpse of some of the work that actuaries do. One role of the actuary is to mathematically quantify as I said before, the risk of financially adverse events. One way of doing this is by using risk measures. A risk measure attempts to quantify the uncertainty in an insurance claim amount. So, as an example, suppose we model the monetary value of an insurance claim by a random variable x, which has an exponential distribution with mean theta. And in this example, theta will be 1000. Well, the mean or the expected value of this exponential distribution, of course, is 1000, which we can denote by EX, expected value of x. Now, we may use the expected value of x, 1000, as an estimate of the amount of assets needed to pay insurance claims. The insurance claim will be a random amount. However, the expected value will be 1000. And you may say, well, the insurance company just needs to reserve $1,000, 1000 units of monetary value in order to be able to pay claims. The problem with that is that for this exponential distribution, the probability that a claim exceeds the value of the mean, E of x, the mean, the probability is 37% that a claim will exceed that value, will exceed that mean value. And so if the insurance company simply reserves $1,000 in assets, the mean value, the expected value, and the insurance company reserves that amount to pay expected insurance claims, then the probability that it will become insolvent is 37%. That is more than 1/3. This expected value then, it does not account for the uncertainty in the actual claim amount, because the reality is that we don't expect every single claim to always be $1,000. There's uncertainty, there's variance in the claim amount. So a risk measure attempts to quantify that uncertainty in the claim amount. And I'll just introduce you to one such risk measure, which is called the value at risk at the P% level. And it's denoted by VAR subscript P, the value at risk at the P% level. That value at risk at the P% level is the amount of capital or assets that the insurance company needs to reserve, to put aside, in order to limit the probability of becoming insolvent to 1 minus P%. So that value at risk is a value such that the probability that the claim exceeds that value will be 1 minus P. And if you decide to study actuarial science, in one of your courses, you will be able to derive an expression for that value at risk, for the exponential distribution, which will turn out to be minus theta by ln of 1 minus P. And so, for the exponential distribution with theta equal to 1000, the value at risk for a level of P of 0.95, of 95%, that works out to be $2,995.70, 2995.7. And as you can see on this screen, the probability that a claim will exceed that value at risk will be only 0.05, only 5%. And so that risk measure, the value at risk at the level of 0.95, it limits the risk, or it limits the probability of becoming insolvent to only 5%. And so, as I said, if the insurance company reserves that amount, 2995.7 in assets, to pay expected insurance claims, the probability that it will become insolvent is only 5%. And so this risk measure, the value at risk at the P% level, it accounts for the uncertainty or variance in the actual claim amount. So I do hope that this brief introduction to a risk measure has whetted your appetite for learning more about actuarial science. And I do encourage you to consider enrolling for the or applying for the BSc in actuarial science at the University of the West Indies. Thank you for your time and thank you for
Good morning,
listening.
all. My name is Dr. Jogi, and I'll be doing a presentation today to give you the context of the additional mathematics SBA, which is, of course, now a requirement for those doing CSEC additional mathematics. The project, or the SBA, is actually a mathematical model. Now, I want to go into the context of the project itself. There are two types, Project A and Project B. Project B is more investigative, and Project A is more analytical. So by that, I would mean Project B is more either statistical, kinematics, something with experimentation, where Project A is more theoretical in nature, not necessarily experimentative. There are 7 components to the analytical investigation, and they are listed below. We have the project title, purpose, formulation, solution, application, discussion, and conclusion. So I'll explicate on this now. The project title gives the reader an idea of the theme of the project. The purpose identifies a real-world problem, which can be used to solve principles learned in the additional maths curriculum. The formulation identifies the variables and governing equations that you need to decompose the problem into a model. You should place all your label diagrams, which are contextualized and related to the problem or task. And you should give the reader an idea of the problem to be solved. The solution. So in the solution, you're going to choose an appropriate method that would solve the relevant problem. Here you should list all your formulae. Theorems are required for a comprehensive and accurate solution. Show all necessary working and calculations. And I must explicate or reinforce the fact that you should type your project, should not be written. The application of solutions. So in this part of the project, here you interpret the solution and you connect it to the real-life application that is given in the statement itself. In the discussion, this is just a summary of the mathematical results. So here there's a statement, interpretation, and reflection of results. So you state results, you interpret results. What do results mean? You reflect on the results. How could I have improved on the results? Now, the conclusion is a foil to the introduction. So where the introduction introduces the problem, the conclusion basically reiterates what the problem was. And now it's a synopsis of the findings as well. So here we have a basic problem statement. So the context here is you're a manufacturer for a juice factory, and you're creating juice packages out of probably cardboard or what have you that will house a volume of 250 cm cube. You've decided to utilize one of 2 shapes, either a cuboid or a cylinder. Now, just bear in mind that a cube is a special cuboid where all the sides are the same. Okay? So the context here is you will choose a shape that houses the 250 cm cube of juice, but minimizes the amount of packaging used. So it becomes, you're taking a volumetric problem and reducing it to a surface area problem. And in the surface area problem, you want to minimize the surface area. That will be minimization of the amount of cardboard used or whatever material used to create either your cylinder or your cuboid. Either the cuboid or the cylinder will house 250 cm cube. You're sure about that because that's what people are paying for. They're paying for a quarter liter of juice. But you want to reduce your cost, right? So you're going to take this volumetric problem and then you go and determine what would be the surface area required to house this package. Now, what would happen is that if you use a cuboid, the minimum amount of cardboard needed to create this cuboid may be different than the amount of cardboard needed to create the cylinder. So in this investigation, we want to figure out, well, which packaging type would utilize less cardboard? And of course, that would minimize costs for us in the long run. So here you have what you call sub-problems. So the major problem is to determine which is the better solid shape to use as a manufacturer, cuboid or cylinder. But you have to break that into separate sub-problems. And that's the purpose of the SBA. All right, so you're taking a major problem now and you're breaking it up into smaller, manageable tasks. Okay, so now you go into the mathematical formulation. So here, we're actually tackling the first problem, which is to determine the minimum surface area of the cuboid. Just to give you an idea of the manipulated variables, which are also theoretically called independent. All right? So these are factors which can be changed by the researcher. And just be careful that you only want to change one variable at a time. All right, so for example, if I were investigating the effect of water or the addition of water, watering of a plant to see how vegetables grow, then the only manipulated variable should be the water supply. I shouldn't simultaneously manipulate the soil type or the amount of fertilizer used, because that could lead to misleading results. And we don't want misleading results. We want to know what the effect of manipulating this particular variable will have on the growth of the vegetable, say. The next is the respondent, which are the dependent variables. So the manipulated variables are the independent variables. These you can change. But the dependent variables will respond to changes in the independent variables. So if I change the values of x and h in the cuboid, what will happen is that the surface area will also change, right? And here I just have as an example. So imagine that you're looking at the water supply on vegetable growth. The growth of the vegetable may or may not be affected by the water, right? But how would you know if the growth of the vegetable responds to the water supply or the amount that you water the plant? Well, you could look at measurable aspects that would tie into that growth. So for example, there are certain parameters will tell you if the vegetable is growing. That is, you can look at the weight, its color, texture, its length, etc. Certain parameters will respond to changes in water supply, either positively or negatively. Now, the control variables are the factors in your project that are kept constant. So here, of course, our control variable is the volume of juice that is actually being utilized. Okay, so now let's go back to the mathematical formulation now. So you can see the volume of the cuboid, which is defined area of the square base by height. This is the function which I'd want to minimize, the surface area of the cuboid. Okay, so two methods will be utilized. So we're going to use an analytical method, which is based on calculus alone. And then we're going to use a numerical method. All right, so we go back to the analytical method now. We have the area function, the derivative of the area. We need to find the stationary value. So we set dA dx to 0. We end up getting x is 6.3. And h is 250 over x squared, which is 6.3. And then that's to verify that a is indeed a minimum. We get the second derivative of a. So the minimum surface area here is 238.11 cm squared. So let me explain. So you'll probably buy cardboard, cut out 238.11 cm squared in whatever the net of that solid would have been, and then you can fold that to create the package needed. And that will be the minimum amount of cardboard that you would need to create or to house that particular package. So we facilitate a numerical model now, and we use Microsoft Excel. We strategically use particular values of x, substitute into the formula for area, and see where the minimum value of the area would occur. Okay, so we start from x line between 1 and 10. So you vary x to be 1 cm, 2 cm, 3 cm, etc. So if x is small, it should be large. It should be like a very tall container. And as x increases, h will decrease. From this table, you can see that the minimum surface area is 238.67. And this occurs when x is 6 cm. So we are sure that the minimum occurs between 5 and 7. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do a second phase of the numerical model. So instead of using integer values, we can now change x in quarters. All right, so we go from 5 to 7, change in quarters, and we can see that here we have the minimum value is 238.13, and that occurs when x is 6.25. And we stop at that junction. So we have a little curve here which was drawn in Microsoft Excel. All right, so you could probably go on YouTube and see how to plot. We look at the cylinder now. It is a similar context as the cuboid. All right, but of course the formulae for V and A are slightly different. And the variables are not x and h, here will be radius and h. Okay, so similar procedure, and the surface area will be 219.69. And we facilitate the numerical method again, but the smallest value of A is 223.22, and that occurs at 3. So we know that the minimum would occur between 2 and 4. Phase 2 now, this time we, instead of integer values of R, we could go into decimal places, right? So this is the second phase. And we can see when R is 3.5 that we have a minimum surface area of 219.83. Okay, so we have a little graph here, turning point around R is 3.5. So here we have the discussion. Just to reiterate, you would restate your results, the major results, which is the minimum surface area for the cuboid, the minimum surface area for a cylinder. Okay, and then you will also do other discussions. All right, so of course the analytical procedure is more efficient, and the analytical method, although it's more efficient, is predicated on you knowing how to differentiate. Okay, so all of this is discussed in our findings here. Okay, now in the conclusion, all right, you just reiterate what would have been said in the introduction. We also give some concluding remarks, all right? Maybe give some ideas about what can be done for future research or so forth. Okay, so if you need a little inspiration on the SPAs, there's a textbook, Additional Mathematics for the Caribbean, with sample SPAs. Okay, so here you would see a couple projects which will be at the back of the book. One will be Project A, which is analytical, and the second one is Project B, which is investigative. Okay, thank you, and good luck on your SPAs.
pH, and base is have a higher pH, right? 7 is neutral pH, right? Which will be the pH of water, or in this case, ethanol, right? So we made a pH and natural pH indicator out of red cabbage, right? So we took the red cabbage, we took the leaves of it, we blended it up with some water, and we filtered the mixture and we technically filtered it, right? So as I add the red cabbage indicator into the different solutions, we'll get different color changes, right? So the hydrochloric acid, we get a nice red. In our acetic acid, we get a sort of a magenta pink color. In our ethanol, which is neutral, it will not change color, right? Because it's neutral, right? So you don't get any color change. This here is breeze, right? Breeze and water, as in water soap, right? It's a base, so we get and this here is sodium bicarbonate, right? We get a nice blue color, and then this here is sodium hydroxide, it's a strong base. You get a green color initially, but eventually it turns to this color, right? So on this chart here, you can tell the pH of different solutions based on the color, right? And the property of the red cabbage that allows us to tell us the pH of different solutions is a pigment and it's called anthocyanin, right? It gives it this nice pretty purple color here, and it changes color depending on the pH.
I would definitely get some views. Yeah.
Actuaries make a lot of money. Who should be making the most amount of money? Astronomers. You know what's cool about the financial guys? Also have our medical services.
Wait, you just guessed. So she guessed, so I guess it'll be the answer. Yeah. She guessed relation. Okay, so you guess C? Oh, okay. Hydrogen? S? Yes, yes, S.
How can you solve? I was thinking so too.
Sloop. Sloop.
What is math?
Yeah, sloop.
Come on.
What do you want? I want that hard one.
we go. I'm on it. Mix it up. You cannot make it short, you cannot make it on everything. Yeah, make it. Can I make it at least 4 because your last 4 months, you cannot just plug it like this. Okay? Man. No. Don't worry about it. Okay, ready? No, I just have to block and start. Here we go.
They can play the good with my head.
No, everybody. Yeah. They put it small for the I make it hard.